Hello and welcome to this installment of the GRT Link Live. I'm your host, Eric Matei, President and CEO of Acrinos, joined by GRT founder, Dr. Paul Mormon. Paul, how are you making out this evening? I know we got GRT Summit 2024 less than a month out.
Yeah, I leave 3 weeks from today to head out there. Getting out there a little early. I'm going to do some of the hikes before we get there. So just to kind of time out everything and make sure we've got our logistics down. So what I'll tell you, and Eric knows this just since he's been there for 3 years, it's like there is no lost moment at the GRT Summit. We are full on action nonstop. Now we do have our downtime, but we calculate all that in there. So it's going to be awesome, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, and we've got an amazing group of doctors and vendor friends who are going to be joining us here at GRT Summit 2024. And for those of you that were unable to join, you can follow all the everything at grtsummit.com. Follow GRT Summit on the socials, and we're thrilled to share that Marjorie Weinstein, editor-in-chief of Review of Optometric Business, is going to be joining us for the week, and documenting everything and sharing some really great stories. So really exciting to get that out there. So Paul, I know we got a lot to get to this evening as we're wrapping up the series we've been doing here the last couple of months, and that being all about efficiency in the modern practice, right? Because one of the core elements of GRT is about providing doctors with the tools, insights, and solutions they need to really make it happen in their practice. So really excited to have some of our vendor friends join us for this installment of GRT Link.
Yeah, we're all about making things easier, making them, just more efficient, and also just, adding technology that just doesn't take a huge footprint. It's easy to use. It's profitable. These folks that are coming to the GRT Summit, they have some great technology, great products that we can all benefit from in our day-to-day practice.
Absolutely. So what do you say we kick it off and have our first guest join us? That's going to be Kayla Ashley. Kayla.
Hello.
Great
How are
see
you? Thank you for having me.
Fantastic.
So we just jump right in, huh?
Just jump right in.
I love it. Well, I'm excited because this is my first time at the GRT Summit coming up in Colorado. I'm so stoked. Even though it's our first time at the summit, we are no stranger to Eric and Dr. Paul. And so thank you guys for having us. I love the topic of efficiency, because that is everything that Spexy is. We provide efficiency and training for private practices, and we also provide efficiency in your frame inventory. And new frame inventory is a huge investment every single month, right? We have to maintain those frames out on the board. And then training in your team is a huge investment, right? Dr. Marmon? Huge investment that you're paying out for your team every single month. And what's really fascinating is that, we're running a smooth practice, right? Let's pretend like everything's perfect. And we have, the perfect set of people, and we're deciding that we're going to grow. Or maybe we had someone retire, right? Because nobody ever just leaves our practices these days, right? No, that never happens. But let's say we're hiring because we're growing or because somebody has left. And what happens when you find that new person that you're just so darn excited to have in your office? You have to take your best person off of your floor to train them, right? And now, rather than being down, having a staff of 5 people, now you're down to 3 people. And what ends up happening in the training situation is this person either A, gets pulled back too often to help with patient care, that we don't have an efficient training, or this person is training and then we've got these people that are really, really, really short-staffed. So what's really beautiful about what Spexy does is we have an online training resource that trains your entire team on being able to be a contributing part of the team and being able to optimize sales as quickly as possible. So what's beautiful is you can think of it kind of like Netflix for optical learning. So just like in Netflix, where you would go and look for a comedy or go and look for a horror film or something like that, you could do the same thing on Spexy, where you can go and look for a new hire training or you can go and look for a training on being able to, maximize what we call the monsters in the industry, the vision care plans. But we have a whole library of online optical training for your office. And what's really beautiful is our memberships are $42 a month for you to have unlimited access for your entire office to be able to access all of that online training. So we're really excited to be a part of the GRT Summit this year and bring kind of some of our training out to Colorado so everyone can be able to see what Spexy is all about.
Fantastic. Yeah, Caleb, super pumped to have you guys a part of this. And, Acrino's a ton of work very closely with Spexy and remarkable stuff through and through. And it definitely all lends itself to this theme, right? This theme of maximizing the opportunity of private practice, maximizing that efficiency in the practice. So, Kayla, thanks so much. Can't wait to see you in Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you, guys.
Yep. So, Eric, we're going to have, just to remind you and everybody, we're going to have a session just on taming the optical beast, which Kayla's going to lead while we're out there in Colorado, just about frame board management, frame turnover, training your optical staff, just making it a more efficient process from the doctor handoff to the staff to purchasing, to second pair sales, to Suns, Plano Suns, whatever it may be. We've got some great frame vendors that are going to be out there with us too, that we're going to link up Kayla's knowledge to the frame vendors that we're going to have out there, be it Bevel, Moto, and 1284. So
fantastic. Yeah, awesome stuff. Super pumped to have Kayla and Team Spexy on board for GRT Summit. So, Dr. Moore, I think next we were going to have our good friend Brittany from MacuHealth join us and touch on your cool technology. Brittany, it's great to see you.
Thank you, guys. So super excited to be a part of this group. If you have not been to a GRT Summit, then you are really missing out. So you should invite all of your friends. It's a great family event. This will be MacuHealth's third year. It'll be my second year going, and I'm super excited because it does turn into a family. This is not just a meeting where you go and you sit at your booth and you're bored. This is something that you really get to interact. So it's amazing. MacuHealth is happy to be a part of this because efficiency in the practice is bringing nutrition to your patients. You're telling them to go to the store. You're telling them to pick out a multivitamin or an eye vitamin. And that's confusing for your patient. That is not efficient for your patient. And it also cuts into your bottom line. Your patients should be purchasing from you. You are the doctor. We empower you with the science so that when you're making these recommendations, it's not just something that you're doing because you've heard about it or you think that it might be great. We have the science that verifies exactly what we're saying so that you feel comfortable with the recommendation that you're making. And we have a whole line of products from dry eye products all the way up through macular degeneration. But there's a lot of people in between, and we have products for them too. We all want to optimize our vision. We all want to stay the healthiest that we can for the longest that we can. And MacuHealth is part of that, not only for your vision, but also for your brain. So brain fog, Alzheimer's, dementia, all of those things can be positively impacted by having the right nutrition. And by providing that to your patients, not only are you retaining those patients because they're happy with their outcomes, but you're helping them transition throughout their lifetimes and their visual processes, and you're growing your practice because you're making some money in the process. So we'd love to come in and talk to you more. I know Dr. Mormon uses a lot of our products, has been with us for a very long time. So we're happy to just be a part of this amazing group. And I love being a part of an amazing company that I can, with grace, knowing that I'm saying something that's going to help people. I never have to feel like I'm doing something that's not actually what's in my heart. And MacuHealth does that very well.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
And hopefully, Eric, people who are watching this online notices that, we're not just a group, as Brittany says, growing, retaining, transition, but we're a very genuine group too, that are really excited about helping each other, and not just OD to OD, but OD to our vendor friends helping out other vendor friends. Just to point out, so the first rep that attended from Mackey Health was Maylee Reese, who I connected with one of our other vendor friends. She had to take a little hiatus from Mackey Health to take care of a family member. Needed to stay home
And we
more.
love Maylee.
Yeah. So, and Maylee was on our first adventure hike, so her and Paul. So we're grateful they're going to be back, but with a new company. So that's the cool thing about the GRT group and the GRT family is, hey, if you decide you're going to leave one company and go to the next, hey, you just bring your new company with you because it's going to help your company out. Just the family environment we have. So
It is amazing. I'm super grateful to be a part of such a great group.
Thank you, Brittany.
Brittany, can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see you in Rocky Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, really amazing stuff, Paul. And talking about the people and kind of this family element, and those of us that are not doctors but are here as vendor friends and looking to serve the industry and connect with doctors. I think it's fitting to call our next guest out here someone who's been a long time advocate and Chris, your camera's off.
Oh, I didn't know. There was no warning, no 3 count or anything. Howdy, fellas.
And we've got a guest with you, yes?
Yes, absolutely. So Chris Whitehurst, business development with Optase, and let me introduce you guys to Mrs. Allison Greer, and she is our local to Denver rep. So, gentlemen, I got to join you in Zion for what is still probably the most breathtaking trip I've ever been on. And you compound that with it was actual work. You just can't go wrong with that. But this has been such a awesome partnership that we at Optase have decided to go with whoever's the most local rep. That's what is fair. So we, I don't want to say we're fighting internally over you, but you have created something that industry wants to be a part of. So I certainly applaud you guys for your efforts and your success. And Allison, welcome.
Thank you. I am so excited to join you guys doing what I love, being in the outdoors and just, getting to do business too. I mean, that's easy sell for me. So I'm excited to meet you guys all in person.
Absolutely. And, considering the scope of Optase's product offerings, I wasn't even thinking I was going to say that. It's like one of those things just kind of comes out. But no, I mean, truly looking at the breadth of the portfolio of what scope Optase brings to market and the impact it could really have in the practice. Chris, why don't you speak a little bit to that, just as far as the latest innovation? I know Paul and I got to join you guys in Nashville at Optometry's meeting a couple of months back. So why don't you share some of the latest coming out of Scope Optase?
Absolutely. So definitely an innovative product line. And first and foremost, I need to highlight that it is preservative free across the board. So to anybody listening, please, I would love for you to recommend retail go with Optase. But at the end of the day, preservative free is the way to be, and everything we offer is with that message. Now, kind of honing in and expanding a little bit off of what Brittany said with the efficiency aspect, we are a great one-stop shop. So, for those offices that might be carrying brand A for a lubricant or brand B for a moist heat mask, we offer all of that under one umbrella of good quality products. And while, yes, we are preservative free, that is something that champions us above others, but we are very much so doctor centric. So we have a lot of unique technology, formulations, ingredients, things that you are not going to find in a lot of the competition out there. And we like our doctors to be that mouthpiece, which is very important for independent optometry. We want you guys to be the medical aspect. We don't want to necessarily go direct to the consumer. A lot of that message of what we offer is lost.
Love having Scope Optase a part of the GRT, and truly, and I know I've seen firsthand the impact it can have serving patients, and really excited for you guys to be a part of it, continuing to advance the R&D, really this commitment to biocompatibility and being preservative free, just through and through. Really remarkable stuff. And Chris, we'll hate to miss you out there in Rocky Mountain. Allison, can't wait to connect with you out there in Colorado. And GRT is going to be a really great program. We're pumped for you to be a part of it.
Thank you guys for always including us.
Yeah, we're excited. Thank you.
Allison, we will welcome you into our family with open arms and look forward to meeting you.
Amazing group to be a part of. Amazing group to be a part of.
I feel so lucky. I'm so excited, counting down the days.
All right, y'all. Well, Allison, we'll see you in Rocky Mountain. Chris,
I'll see you guys
all
soon,
the best.
I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
See you soon.
Eric, from top to bottom, can't say anything, can't say enough about that company, from Tom Frayne all the way down to the, business development to the local reps. I mean, just a top-notch group of professionals all around. We've been so successful with having there. We have a scope wall in our practice, so it's funny. My staff will say, "Hey, it's time to fill in the scope wall." And just because you got everything there, and it's just
absolutely. And Paul, we do in the work we do with Krinos, we have a lot of cold starts it's great to put on the shelf, great way to take care of patients, great way to differentiate your practice just right out of the blocks. So pumped to have Scope Optase on board. So we got a few more guests for this installment of GRT Link, where we're talking about efficiency in the modern practice. Paul, who should we call out next?
Let's get Jason on board. Jason's one of our new guys, new folks.
Well, all right. Well, so first of all, this has been awesome. This is my first exposure and experience to y'all, but I got to tell you, and Dr. Mormon, I had sent you a text too, just about, just seeing just from day one of you and I connecting, just the constant enthusiasm and build up to the GRT Summit, which I'm just thrilled to be part of. And frankly, our company is thrilled to be part of. So thank you. And really looking forward to being part of it and meeting you all and meeting the other vendor partners as well. As far as the meeting goes, gosh, I mean, there's just going to be a lot of great things to talk about. I love that this is, really talking about efficiencies in the modern practice, because, the Bausch & Lomb specialty vision division of which I work in is a relatively young vision for our company, right? It's we've been 5-6 years as far as that particular division goes, but everything is focused on the private practice, the modern practice, and frankly, how we can bring the best efficiencies to you all when it comes to specialty lenses, right? So I know a lot of times when people think of specialty contacts, they're thinking maybe, high cylinder, soft lenses, things of that nature. Maybe somebody else is thinking scleral lenses, whatever the case may be. But this is going to be such a great thing to talk with you all about, because we have something for everybody. We have regular, custom soft lenses. That's a relatively new product. That's for your everyday practice, whether you're doing sclerals or things or not. For practices that maybe haven't really dived into sclerals, but do still see their irregular corneas, we have soft lenses for irregular corneas that I'll be talking about. And of course, for the practices that are doing scleral lenses, we have, the lion's share in the business as far as our ZenLens scleral lens goes. As far as efficiencies go with that, all of us, so me included, but I'm talking about all the in-field people, we are all NCLE certified. We're all in field. So, we separate ourselves from the competition in the sense that if somebody wants to become a scleral fitter, I personally come in, or another rep that's in your particular area personally come in. We do training for doctors who have never touched a scleral, all the way to doctors who are experienced scleral fitters but are making the switch to ZenLens. Everything is in office. It's with, we do hands-on wet labs, fit patients in your office with your equipment, in your environment, staff training. Everything is hands-on. So everything is all about providing the most advanced specialty lens products for your practice, but combining that with efficiencies that make it, easier to jump into, and have the in-office hands-on support. So really stoked to attend this meeting and, be able to talk about everything that we can share with you all, and frankly, to learn from you all too. So really looking forward to the meeting.
Fantastic, Jason. Yeah, likewise. Pumped to have you guys on board, considering particularly the growth of the specialty, right? And the utilization of specialty lenses to serve an ever-growing public health need for care. So super pumped to have Bausch & Lomb specialty lens on board, and we have a great time out there in Rocky Mountain.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Paul, I think one of the things that you really hit on I think back to one of those very early conversations when you were speaking of the kind of the concept behind GRT Summit, and that it's about growing that modern practice, right? And, that full scope practice on top of license. So, to have Bausch & Lomb specialty lens a part of GRT Summit, what they bring to the fold, just really, really far out stuff to work with our doctors. So let's see, we got a couple more folks backstage. I guess we'll stay on the contact lens front and call our friend Spencer Foy on out to join us. Spencer?
What's up, guys?
Hey, Spencer.
Hey, look, I'm so thankful to be a part of GRT this year. We were part of the Zion trip, the first GRT trip, and then we missed last year. And so we're back on board. I keep waiting on the Denver rep to call me and be like, man, how do you keep getting to go to these things? It's my turn. But no, I'm so excited to be down there. And look, just kind of sticking on theme and talking about efficiencies in the practice. You'll hear me talking about 3 weeks from now when we get together. We'll be talking a lot about our product portfolio, what we're doing for your patients, and how that's different than what anybody else is out there able to provide. Look, these patients right now are dealing with digital device dryness and digital eye strain. And so we've got products out there that's meant to help out those patients. You'll hear me talk a lot about our water innovations portfolio, Total 30, Precision 1, Dailies Total 1. We'll be talking a lot about innovations that are in those brands. We've got some new innovation coming out early next year, so I'll probably tease that up a little bit. And then also on the efficiency side, I'll be talking a lot about Marlowe. And I'm sure there's a lot of users on this call that are a lot of people on this call that already use Marlowe. And maybe you don't know about some of the new functionalities that Marlowe has. Happy to discuss that. I think that's something that we're really proud as a company to be able to provide your practices. We keep you connected to those patients and make sure that their purchasing or their repurchase is happening at your office. We know that right now, 9 out of 10 of the repurchases are going outside of the practice. And that's too much revenue that's walking out the door. So Marlowe does a fantastic job of keeping you connected to your patients, keeping your practice connected to your patients. And so if you have any questions or if you're not sure about all the functionality, all the new things that Marlowe does, I'm really excited to be able to get in front of you and I'll give you the lowdown of what's new. But some really exciting things at Alcon. Looking forward to getting out to Colorado and can't wait to see everybody.
Likewise, Spencer. Yeah, pumped to have Alcon back in the fold with GRT, and stoked to see you out there in Colorado.
Looking forward to it. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Spencer undoubtedly is, Spencer's my rep, just to be, and I'm the one that keeps lobbying for him to come out there to the meeting. So that's how he gets to keep getting out there. Undoubtedly the most professional, rep I see. Can't say enough good things about Spencer and the Alcon group. I mean, all those guys. I mean, I go to Alabama and see patients down there, and Toby, who's the local rep there in Florence, Alabama. He's fantastic. I mean, these folks are just the ultimate professionals. They want to, and truth be told, I shared it in our posts, is like, Eric, you and I would not be sitting here right now if it was not for Alcon, because you came as a as a traveling rep to my practice years ago, and then we had our PDC type visits that we had for many years. So thank you, Alcon, for the friendship and that Eric and I now have, and then also thank you for, hey, Eric and I got together and put this pen to paper and came up with this idea. So it was Pete Van Hoven and my idea that Eric kind of brought to the fruition of let's just do this. Let's quit talking about it and let's do it. So very excited to have Spencer back again, Alcon back again, as one of our key vendors. Alcon's one of our venture level vendors, along with MacuHealth. So,
yeah, absolutely, and amazing company, and also amazing industry, Paul. And I think that's also getting back to the beauty of GRT Summit and having an opportunity. Even looking around our vendor friends these days, we've got a number of vendor friends that have been ongoing vendor friends of the GRT Summit, but have worked with different companies. And I think it speaks to also just the level of professionals that are around this industry to support doctors, right? There's a ton of us. I mean, and even just right here, I'm looking backstage, all the heads nodding. We're just a small snippet of all of us out there that we don't have the OD behind our name, but oh boy, do we have the solutions to help you, the products to help you make it happen in your practice. So it's amazing that GRT Summit comes to be that ground for everybody to come together. So, well, Paul, I think we have one more vendor friend backstage. We're going to call out on this episode of GRT Link, that being Mr. Mike Valenti, TearCare.
Thank you guys for having me. Second time caller, long time listener. Appreciate you guys. I can echo the sentiments from Brittany. First time attending GRT last year, and it really is a community, and it's a phenomenal experience. So can't wait to get out to Colorado, do some hiking, maybe some fly fishing, ATV riding. But had a great experience last year. Mike Valenti, I'm the regional director for the East for TearCare. Our head company is called Sight Sciences. We have a division that specializes in MIGS, Omni, and then I'm on our ocular surface side. In regards to efficiency on our side, right, optometry really is heading down the medical pathway. And one of the primary or number one visits that you guys are seeing, right, is dry eye. TearCare, right, is addressing that 86% of evaporative dry eye, specifically with meibomian gland dysfunction, really taking on an interventional mindset of removing that obstruction. Obviously, that has an impact on contact lens wearers, right, with dryness, perioperatively with cataract, premium IOLs, LASIK. And we know that dry patients typically, they're not the most fun, but if we can help them in any way, they typically become our most loyal patients. I also want to add, too, it's a really exciting time here at Sight Sciences. I've been with the company since its inception 5.5 years ago, and we're on the doorstep of hopefully achieving fair and robust market access with both the MACs and commercial payers. And that's really based off of science-based evidence, particularly with our RCT study. Sahara, 24-month study, phase 3 will be completed at the end of this year. But that was going up against brain overstasis, and that's something that the payers wanted to see in terms of a study. We also have the health economics portion, a budget impact model, as well as a cost analysis model that we've prepared. One of those has already been published. We're waiting on the other one to be published, but we're hoping that we're months away, not years away, and hopefully getting something that millions of patients suffer from, but only a very small percentage can actually get treated on, and that's because it's a cash pay market right now.
Yeah, really exciting announcements on that front, Mike.
Yeah, thank you guys. And like I said, awesome event, and highly recommend for you first timers. This is going to be a great experience for you.
Well, I think I speak for everyone at GRT Summit. Pumped to have TearCare back involved, and pumped for you to join us, Spike. I know you had some great times last year, and I know you were mentioning the fly fishing, the ATV riding, a lot of great activities lined up here for Rocky Mountain. So look forward to seeing you at the summit.
That's right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Mike,
so
thank you.
So Mike was definitely like rookie of the year award last year. Guy just showed up, big lineman. I can't remember where he played football at, so I'm sorry, Mike. But just like big old teddy bear, just melted everybody's hearts, and everybody loved Mike. And he went out with us to do karaoke, and we had a blast with Mike. So I dubbed him as Big Mike. So excited to have Mike back and Sight Sciences, and all exciting information about how they're looking at getting reimbursement based type treatments through various medical payers. So it's going to be exciting times for Sight Sciences and Mike, and so we're going to hopefully to unveil some stuff that is brand new at the GRT Summit this year.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right, Paul. As you bring that up, GRT Summit does kind of sort of get the reputation of being a place where maybe some cool things are launched, introduced. I know we've had some vendor friends bring some kind of pre-market products to GRT Summit. So really excited to get to lay eyes on some of that stuff. So, well, here we are. We're getting, we're going to the end of the line, as they say.
That's right.
We got GRT Summit 2024, Rocky Mountain National Park, just a few weeks away. And well, if you're there, we'll see you there. If not, I think, Paul, we've got some really exciting announcements to share.
Yep. Let's get right to it.
Let's do it. So let me see.
So we've got we're in the sense of somebody told me, I can't remember when it was or who it was exactly, but it said when you're at your current vacation, you need to plan your next vacation. So just to keep it perpetuating on. So this is the first year in 2025. We're going to have 2 events. So we're going to do a winter spring event, January 31st through February 4th at Death Valley National Park. So if you've never been to Death Valley National Park, it is one of those just otherworldly type experiences. So a lot of movies get filmed there, just that are like supposedly from on other planets and that kind of stuff. A lot of the Star Wars, sets were planned there. So we're going to be at Death Valley National Park, and it's kind of a unique we're changing up a little bit. Instead of doing the Wednesday to Sunday kind of outline, we're going to do Friday to Tuesday. So, and that just worked out better with their room situation, but it also works out with, well, you can be out of the office and you're only out 1 day, 1 week, and then 2 days the next week. So hopefully that'll bring in, some good group in the fall. We've been excited about this for a long time. We've been working on this, but we're going to do Jackson, Wyoming. We were looking at doing it last year, but they had some issues with their airport, so we had to postpone it a year. So we're going to be out in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, October 15th through the 19th. And we're going to be, exploring the Tetons and Yellowstone National Parks. And what's really super cool is, and this is to be finalized, but we're going to do CE on the bus to these certain places. So we're going to get up early in the morning, get out of the hotel, get on the bus where we have a 2-hour ride up to Yellowstone, and we're going to do CE on the bus. So something super cool. We're working on trying to figure out logistics of, headphones and how we're going to do this, but it's going to be something new and something revolutionary that nobody's doing out there.
Absolutely. Super, super exciting stuff. And registration, I think we've got, do we have a pre-registration list going?
Not quite yet, but it will be up very, very shortly.
Very, very soon. Very, very soon. And I think we've also got a couple picks there. Yeah, to your point, Paul.
Yeah,
there's
so
Death Valley.
Yeah, Eric, I'll have you click through a couple of these pictures. So this is the inn at the Oasis. So there is this hotel called the Oasis that is in Death Valley. That looks exactly like this. It's this is where we're going to be staying. We'll be doing everything based out of this Oasis property. They have casitas, they have hotel rooms. So if you want to bring your family, this will be a great trip to bring your family, just because, you know, there's limited stuff we can do, and but there's all kinds of hiking. So Oasis at Death Valley will be our hub there. So keep clicking through.
And then let's see here.
So this is for those of you who don't know, every GRT we do a sunrise hike and a kind of a sunset event. So this will be our sunrise hike. So this is actually from one of the from the points where we'll be going to watch the sunrise. And click through, Eric, if you would. This is a trail called the Painter's Palette. So
wow,
all kinds of different colors, and as you can see, that person right in the middle of that picture is hiking right through the middle of it. So that's the cool thing about Death Valley, is you can get right in the middle of everything, and all these trails interact and interchange with other trails. So you can legitimately kind of get lost in trails for 4 or 5, 6 hours if you really want to. But not that we're going to let anybody get lost when they're there.
GRT doesn't get lost.
No,
GRT
but
doesn't
you
get
could.
lost.
But you could. So,
but you could.
But you could if you really wanted to.
If you wanted to, but don't. Awesome. And then,
very lastly, so Death Valley is known as one of the dark skies places in the U.S. So what that means is best places to view stars. So this is one of the well-known locations within the park where you can go and see the Milky Way and all that stuff. And the greatest thing about Death Valley is, you know, you hear about, oh, how hot it is in Death Valley. But when we're going to be there, the highs are going to be like low 70s. I'm sorry, the highs are going to be low 70s and the lows are going to be like 50s. So it'll be great weather, good escape from, you know, cold weather if that's where you're from. So moving on to our fall event, it'll be in Jackson, Wyoming. So we'll be visiting the Grand Tetons and Yellowstone National Park. So we'll be fly fishing on the Snake River and the Tetons. We'll be hiking to waterfalls and just different events there. We'll be staying at the Wart Hotel, which is pictured here. Very famous hotel. They've got very Western themed rooms. Really, really cool place. They have a very interesting and cool kind of bar associated with it that we'll be doing an event at. Just, you know, like I said, we're super excited about being in Jackson. Just so much stuff to do. We're actually going to have some rooms available at the Wart Hotel, and then also this location, which is called the Rustic Inn, which is maybe more of a family-friendly event. It's got a little stream that goes right through it, a little bit bigger cabins, a little bit bigger events. So really want to include families if they want to attend this event. Then, you know, we'll be hiking in the parks. We'll be on around Jenny Lake. Be around just all kinds of different trails that just are fantastic, just breathtaking. That's what our whole deal is about with GRT, is not only creating memorable optometry events, but creating memorable events for you and your spouse, you and your family, whatever it may be. One last picture I think that pops through here. So this is obviously this is my inspirator, if you will, Pete Van Hoven in Yellowstone at the Yosemite Falls. I'm sorry, not Yosemite Falls, Yellowstone Falls. Excuse me. Just fantastic place. I mean, it looks like almost like a picture was drawn. Doesn't look real, but we're going to be visiting these places all on this trip. So just going to be fantastic, Eric. So much stuff we've got to look forward to next year and beyond. Got a great group of folks heading out to Estes Park. We're gonna have a fantastic time. Big group horseback riding, fly fishing, going on the Stanley Hotel. You know, Shelley Duvall and unfortunately passed away recently, so it's going to be added even extra that we've got the Shining tour going with some extra remembrance of Shelley Duvall who was in that famous movie The Shining. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a blast out there. So if you're not a part of it, you know, you need to be. Can't say enough how many memories we make from this event.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, well, I think that's a fitting send-off, Paul, as we're now going to launch into this, wrapping up the GRT Link Live series leading up to GRT Summit 2024. So be sure to follow GRT Summit all across the socials and keep your eye out to grtsummit.com. Again, the dates have been set for our events next year, and stay tuned for pre-registration going live. And well, Dr. Paul Mormon, here's to all to come for the GRT Link.
Yep. See you 3 weeks from today. And then we'll be back after the summit with some follow-up, and love to have you join in afterwards to learn about what we did at the summit and how we're moving forward.
That's it. See you at the summit.
Take care.